last frame decide to use WAP or attack period. It's so dangerous, but he pulled it off anyways. However, Light, if I remember correctly, I think he's only dropped one individual game so far this tournament.
And that was against Moat.
Yeah, so that's nuts. This has all been best of 5.
Oh, that's actually, no, he actually went 3-2 with Zamba as well.
Oh, okay, that's right.
I forgot about
right.
that. Yeah.
Okay, so Zamba was the first person to kind of like crack the armor of Light earlier. And that was also with Zamba barely just missing game number 2 at that. That was an intense set. But here against Gluto, after having that ridiculous match against Tilde, you gotta be warmed up and feeling good about that because that was very close to going to Tilde.
I mean, we have to see, you know, if Gluto's still in the zone, right? But particularly, right, like, Tilde can get aggressive sometimes. We did see him playing a little bit more of a campy style, but he was still putting pressure on Gluto. This is a different pace, obviously, that Light is bringing to the table. And again, we've talked about how this matchup is generally pretty difficult for Fox. One, because your Light and Wario has quite a few moves like that, where he can just kill eventually. By the way, I apologize. I accidentally did a pun. I'd like to apologize to all the people. Fox is not a heavyweight character.
We're always screwed whenever this happens. We're always gonna, it happens all the time.
Never ask a man his salary, a woman her age, or a commentator what weight class Fox is.
Look, they made me commentate Ish versus Ish Evil to start off the day. Anything that happens past that point is their fault. However, Light somehow not going down to that. But here's the fearful factor against Wario. He somehow sneaks his way around a Wario ledge trap, but he gets hit immediately by back air off the Angel platform and answers right back.
Not a heavyweight character in the slightest. Light playing from a bit of a deficit here against Gluto, who still has not used his WAF. These have just been a couple of clean stocks, and with that fight, it's going to put Light in a tricky situation. He's hanging tough, though, and he will be able to make it back, but taking quite a bit of damage in return, and Gluto still able to get this ledge trap going, carry him across the stage.
And last second change on that forward air as well, off of the tech on the platform, instead of trying to go for a mix-up, which could have been Light getting out of that situation. But one thing that Light was doing well where he started to actually apply damage was he was getting more grabs. Gluto realized that, and he started playing short hop again. This is where Light usually gets to around game 3 or 4 against Gluto. He'll start firing more lasers to play passive. He's now being forced to do that already here in game 1.
And you got to build up that damage so you can actually get your confirms against Wario, right? Because he's got a lot of them available, and he doesn't really have to chip away at you as Fox, but you have to be precise, and Light knows that, right? He is so quick to react that he knows that that's not a situation where he can connect it, so he just wants to reset the situation. A little dash attack to put Gluto off stage, and it's time for back air city. You know what time it is.
Yeah, he's really good at mixing people up to get them to jump off because you anticipate potentially him dropping off stage to go for a ledge shot or something, but Light avoiding hitting with that up B, and even though he's at 83%, that's really good for the mental because you can start to bring it back from this point forward. Granted, a very difficult time to do so because it's still Gluto.
I think that Light might have held down on that recovery as well to make sure that he singed Gluto with that up B. And Firefox going to put on some pretty key damage right here, although Gluto, he's going to start hitting those forward tilts on the ledge eventually, right? Light doesn't have infinite angles here on PS2 to use, and at 123, stray dash attack, stray back air, those can all do it. Light has got to get to center stage.
I think he still has about 10 more % before the down tilt dash attacks end, but it doesn't matter. He finds that back air. Everything at the ledge that trades is beneficial to Wario. As you can see, he faded away, made him so he tried to double jump and do something. And as soon as he knew that he had to aggressively try to swing out, again, even if you get hit by the nair, if you trade the bear, it's fine. As long as you're keeping him in the corner. Don't ever let him get back to center stage, and that's how you shut down Light making a comeback.
And those are those decisive moments that Glutonny is trying to put himself into, right? Where he goes, okay, I'm not going to be able to...
Hey guys, it's VGBootCamp's very own Logic here. I hope you're enjoying all the great tournament action, but I want to tell you about something else that you're going to enjoy. This video sponsor, Flash Party. Flash Party is a cross-platform fighter that I've been playing non-stop since I got my hands on it. Like, no, seriously. I have almost 24 hours into the game, and I may or may not have owned it for only 3 days. Flash Party is a free-to-play game and is officially hitting Steam January 10th. If you want to show support, use our link to go download it or add it to your Steam wishlist and give it a try. Flash Party has the core of what you'd expect out of a platform fighter, such as combos, plenty of stages, and a diverse pool of heroes. But what really sets the game apart, aside from the beautiful animations and fun gameplay, of course, is the massive customization you can do to your heroes. The game does a great job of allowing you to adjust your character into a playstyle that's unique to you without taking away from the fundamentals I love to see in a fighting game, such as spacing, execution, and decision making. You can level up each character, which increases your base attack and defense. You can fine-tune your character with red and yellow stickers, which augment things like your speed, offense, or durability. The changes per sticker are small, but you get 5 slots for each, so together, it can make a huge difference. The most important part of the colorful system, though, has to be the blue stickers. You only get 2 slots to work with, but this is because you can do major things like change a particular move, or add new properties to a character's passive, or even attacks. This is a unique addition to Flash Party, and it really allows you to set your playstyle apart from others. On top of all this, a new hero system was just added, which really takes the game to new heights. Every hero is now labeled as either an all-rounder, assaulter, powerhouse, or impeder. The assaulter heroes can cancel the end lag of certain moves, generally with a jump cancel or a dash. The impeder heroes gain a buff to their throws after hitting their opponent's shield. Powerhouse heroes do more damage the higher their KO score gets, and the all-rounder heroes can charge 3 gauges based on their up, down, or side attack hitting the opponent. Once all the directional gauges are full, your hero can use a much more powerful neutral special. This is definitely an easy to play but hard to master game with a huge skill ceiling. You can parry, dodge, tech, like you're even rewarded with more damage for counter hitting your opponent. Fortunately though, there are plenty of game modes to choose from, so you can keep things as casual or as competitive as you'd like. There's a fun 2v2 soccer mode called Party Record. There's an everyone for themselves mode called Brawl. You have your classic 1v1 and 2v2 modes where you play against others based on your skill level, but without anything on the line. And then of course, for the competitive spirits out there, a 1v1 and 2v2 rank mode are indeed in the game. You start in bronze and you work your way all the way up to challenger. If you manage to make it to the top 100 on the leaderboard, you actually get a title that's displayed for a week to let the world know just how talented you are. I'm sure everyone though is asking probably the same question at this point. How's the net play? Well, guess what? Literally all of the gameplay footage that you are seeing was recorded from my live matches in the 1v1 mode. I've been playing strangers left and right, and this is one of the best online experiences I've ever had. Of course, playing the game's fun, but what would be even more fun is if you looked good while doing it. Flash Party doesn't miss a beat here and has a plethora of skins to choose from that let you play in style. A few of the ones I like are Cupid Squirrel Cub. Like, look at baby Cupid right here. This is adorable. You see the ears, playing the piano, the glasses, all right. And also the Count Dracula for Thanatos. Definitely a different vibe, Halloween-ish. Hopefully you're not afraid of the dark. Keep the lights on, it's all good. But my favorite skin has to be the Ultraverse College Girl for Kamiki Yuri. I might be a bit biased. This is my current main. Red's my favorite color, kinda getting Demon Slayer vibes here, you know what I mean? But if you see someone named Logic using this skin, it's probably me. So there you have it, guys. Flash Party is a game that I've been thoroughly enjoying, and I highly recommend you give it a try. It's free to play and will officially release on Steam January 10th. Show your support by using the link in the description to download it, or by adding it to your Steam wishlist. Enjoy the rest of the match. See ya.
To react to what Light's going to do after he jumps, but I can react to the fact that he is jumping at me. He's generally going to be trying to fall down on me with an aerial, and like you said, if you trade with that back air, that's all you got to do to clear out that game. So Gluto working with that 1-0 lead, and he is getting another big combo to start off this game too as well.
Actually insane. You got a grab, you got 13, you whiffed one time and you took 71. That's the dangerous part about being like Fox against a character like this. You can do this to others, but they can also do it to you who have that same type of combo play. Difference is that Gluto has better cash out tools that guarantee he gets the knockout. So you can only make so many mistakes in front of him like that.
Here we see Light, though, getting a juggle going, and again, very hard to juggle Wario because he does have a lot of aerial drift at his disposal. Light's going to have to really be on top of things to track him down. You see right there, just pulling the trigger a little bit early with that double jump up air, and Gluto's able to escape from the situation by the skin of his teeth, but at 112, you're looking at Fox getting some confirms available, barely missing that combo out of the drag down fair.
Yeah, that was like a frame or two off on dashing forward before he would have gotten that forward smash read on that tech chase. But these are two of those characters we were talking about, people who are still able to do it as solo mains. The fact that these two character specialists have been able to like thrive as long as they have over this time, and even in a bad matchup like this, Light's still making it work, but Gluto's still making it incredibly tough. He's already burned his resource. Never mind, he actually still had his double jump in that. I thought he used it on the side B, and now he's reversed it.
Yeah, he's got Gluto at the ledge, and again, time for these back airs. We're going to see Light, great mix-ups right there. He's thrown 2 back airs and then backed off every time, but that time, threw out that second one just as a bait, immediately following Gluto with that up smash. And again, you can't react to him drifting past you right there, but you know that you can wait for him to jump, and then you immediately toss that up smash, and you see Gluto using that double jump.
Exactly. He uses that often when people start getting into back air ranges out of shield. Speaking of back air, Gluto finds it, going for the down tilt to bait the idea that he might go that stack after to force a spot dodge, and even it back up. But the very, very fearful part of Gluto, he is glowing. and not in a good way, and you need to get away from that.
Yeah, that is where the stinky time happens. And that means that, you know, any of these single hits can lead to a lot. Light able to DI out of that combo, and at those early percents, right, you can act just early enough where Gluto's not going to be able to guarantee that hit, and that's a big whiff for him.
Now it's, again, another similar situation where frames off a potential kill happening, extending the hitbox on that, but it actually worked against him. He had enough time to get the get-up attack out before the forward smash finished.
Ooh, and that side B, man, Gluto's putting himself in all the right positions, and again, just barely whiffing these forward tilts where eventually they're going to start hitting Light with attack, and again, timing a little bit off from Gluto right there. That's one of those things that's going to come into play later in the set. But down tilt dash attack's enough to do it.
We've talked about it before. Unless you actually get the untechable or you kill him outright, if you put Light into a tech, he's making it back every time.
He will hit it every time.
Right now, 116%, so he's still within down air into up smash ranges as well as nair. But the fearful part is that one whiff on shield, that great parry call from him, but he's gonna get him right within that down air range like we were expecting, and only taking 43, as bad as it is, and everybody sees it, the sleeves have gone up.
Yeah, Light, he said it before, right? That means that my opponent's really making me sweat, right? If you're on the come up, your dream is to make Light roll up the sleeves, but as Gluto right now, you're like, all right, I better not start making mistakes because Light is in the zone.
And many mental power-ups you can have, especially against the matchup where if you make one mistake, you're right at kill percent, will help you in any way. He forces him to go low. Light is doing well on this ledge trap, covers him back in, gets that grab he needs, and continues to keep him at the ledge kimono.
That was beautiful gameplay right there with the backdoor to set Gluto at the ledge, dashing towards him to bait his jump in, right? Because Gluto can almost always land on Fox if he wants to, but that back air and the pop-off from Light, he's just going to get up and shake those hands. This guy is taking this 100% seriously.
That is the universal sign of when Light is trying to wake up. When you see him get up, he's just shaking the hands, moving around, trying to jump, trying to get the intensity up. And that could have easily still gone to Gluto, but the fact that he was able to keep it clutch, the biggest factor of that W there was him winning out on the ledge most of the game. If you don't get your damage on ledge, that means you're forced to play, I have to now jump in on Wario. That's how you lose. And he was able to get the job done, especially with that very first play there with that up smash you were alluding to before.
Well, we'll see if Light can go even further beyond, right? Because, again, I mean, he won that game by basically almost playing flawlessly, right? And that was after going Super Saiyan 1, right? So he's got to step up that next level and take it a little bit further. Game 3, probably going to see PS2 this entire set, and I don't blame these two guys because there is more than enough depth in the way that they are playing this game that the stage doesn't even matter.
I agree. I mean, I think the majority of their they both thrive on a majority of the same stages, but you're never going to let Light get Kalos, and you're never going to let Gluto get something like Smashville. So going back here, playing it out straight up is majority of what we're going to be seeing throughout the set, and it just makes so much sense because that's pretty much what they've been doing recently.
Light right now definitely taking a big lead, not something he's had in either of the first two games. And Gluto trying to take a big bite out of that right now, but again, spacing in the air, the Pele is going to send him off stage at 145. Again, back airs are going to be really, really key, and Gluto right there knows that he doesn't have the shield to just neutral get up and get tested, and he got caught hopping around too. Gluto maybe throwing off his pace a little bit.
Which is really interesting because Light went from short hop city to staying grounded in such a quick way that was not normal. Also something, it's not a big factor, but Light actually going with the default colored Fox. He always goes with a different one, so I don't know if maybe mental thing, but he's playing so much better in terms of baiting Gluto to swing first and then get the reward. That's what Gluto was doing to Light all of game 1.
I see that up B straight to the ledge. Knows that Gluto didn't really have time to position himself to get a guaranteed hit. And air dodge right back down because Gluto does not want to let Light get a ledge trap started. And man, you're talking about somebody getting things started. Light has not missed a single one of these big combo starters. Gluto in danger of losing his second stock before he gets one on the board here.
Again, this is so unfamiliar to what used to happen in the past, and this is what Light has been able to do up recent to Gluto. Find ways to shift it into his favor, but the double jump's been burned. That's a free edge guard every single time. Gluto will always meet you out there for that.
Now I wonder, maybe if Light just wants to keep the mix-ups available, because again, we have not seen Gluto be able to time the forward tilts on the Firefox. Light definitely, I think that he could have gone low and tested Gluto.
Oh my God,
relax, please. What is this movement?
If he died here for that.
He does.
He just died here for that. He had such control at the ledge, and he got hit one time. The great equalizer known as Waft, giving Gluto a lead.
I am the devil, Hazard of Mishima. Oh my goodness, and Gluto trying to get it going again, but with the amount of rage that he had, wasn't able to get a forward air afterwards where he was just trying to reset the situation. And man, that one big combo really throwing Light off his game right now. And the big part is he doesn't have any combos available to him. He needs a raw hit on Gluto to bring this to last stock.
I mean, you even saw it right there. As he did that, before he did the down throw, he took a deep breath. Like, it's like, I need to stay calm. And so far, it's been working in Gluto's favor. He's forced to find that straight hit, and for Gluto, you just keep swinging. And he finally makes a mistake, but for Gluto, every single one of those, every trade was in his favor.
It's finally down to last stock. Gluto may be able to run the time enough to get a half waft available, but I don't think he's going to need it. 96% on Light already means that down tilt dash attack is going to be a real danger to him in just another 20 or so percent. And there's another forward tilt to put him at those double digits, so Light has to be precise if he is going to approach Gluto anymore.
You're right on that, especially with down to. Oh, wait, does he find the footstool? Does he get down there quick enough? No, he tries to go for the trade-off, but that's a bad spot to be in against Gluto. Any one of those trades would have taken the game. And he's going to go to center just to guarantee if he gets hit, he can minimize the damage and try and DI to the corner.
Yeah, no forward tilts would be able to KO you from there. The back air certainly still would, and you're not going to be able to shield another one of those even if you angle it. It might just pop it, and that stock getting popped open even with the perfect DI. Gluto also taking a deep breath after that one. It took a big clutch moment, the big combo into the waft, but he has the 2-1 lead.
Yeah, Gluto's whole win condition right there was, even if I don't hit you with any of these at the first time, that's an emo, actually. Hold on, can we bring that back? Can we bring that back to the close-up?
He looked like a fountain in a French plaza, where he's got like the water coming out and it's like going into the.
Oh my God!
Put this man in the Louvre.
Well, now we got a 2-1 lead to play for Gluto after training the system there. What the approach is, honestly, I think Light's going to go exactly the same way. I mean, so far it's been working well. The biggest thing is that when Wario has the lead, it's so much easier for him to hang back and not have his hand forced to have to deal with this out-of-shield game that Light has been able to somehow beat up to this point.
And you got to remember that Light was actually in the lead for the first time on that first stock in that game 3, and it looked like everything was coming up for him until Gluto got that big turnaround combo. And you know that when Gluto plays with the lead, he'll generally go for half waft combos if he can find them, right? But that big waft, when you need that big change in momentum, I mean, that final stage, it really goes crazy, and at 132%, I mean, he might be looking at it for this next stock.
That was interesting, too, because earlier in this game, that last game, Light went for late hit dash attack and didn't bear. He fared. That's a true combo. You can late hit dash attack into back air. So maybe a little bit like off on his inputs, but it doesn't matter. He's woken up here. He's definitely making it. He's getting the job done.
This is classic Light, man, is that even if he knows that there's only like a 10-15% chance that that shine leads to a stock, he's still going to go for it because he is at his heart a big initiator, big time with that high recovery. Again, Gluto's still not able to time that hit on that Firefox.
I think that's the majority of why Light has been able to do so well in these matchups. If Gluto's consistently hitting those, the game's over. That happened against Tilde too. That was weird. That was very weird. He got hit by the ash deeks. Like, he got sent like off the back. Like, he's already been hitting him with them enough with the waft, and then he does that to him. The cakes are getting the job done, and I don't know how I feel about that.
You see, he's a hungry boy, right? So that's all Gluto needs. That back air, hey, Light just did the same thing right back to him with his own back air right there. Gluto somehow able to live, even though he goes all the way to the magnifying glass, just like you said, true combo out of that late hit dash attack into the back air. Light with a full stock lead, but Gluto also with a full waft.
Yeah, that's the very dangerous part about this. Don't be confused if you see Light make what was a former attempt at trying to go for lasers, but that failed miserably. And luckily for him, he didn't fall, but he answers right back with a 54% combo.
They tell me I must shoot the lasers, but it is not in my nature.
You know, I shoot the lasers, and he still hits me.
These big things mean nothing to me.
Oh, I'm gonna spit my water out. Like
we could have gotten production. Devin would have been like, hey, what happened to the audio? Like, your mic cut out for some reason.
Well, right now, Light is trying to put the end to this game here, trying to cut it out, but at that same time, they're at a disadvantage. Very solid if you get it early enough before he finds that up air. And no matter which way you look at it, that 99 may look nice, but you have to worry because 70 plus can come your way so fast.
Yeah, I mean, Gluto just needs to get one up tilt, one up air, even a nair to set you up on the platform. It can mean a lot. Now, he's still probably only going to get to play for a half waft at most if he is going to take the game in that fashion. But Light right now, a little bit antsy. All he needs is down air or a neutral air. Yeni can set up that tech chase. We are going to a Game 5, AJ.
Nothing unexpected from what we're watching here. Game 5 coming out from these two all-stars at that. Two of the people who have been right out of the cusp of fighting for that top position in the world. Spargo's been able to crack that armor of late. Leo has been playing phenomenally today, but you have to always pay attention to what Light, Gluto, and now Tweak returning to form have been doing of late. So no surprise to see that we're going to see a Game 5 out of this. I have no clue who's walking away with this one, because even after Light lost that game where Gluto won in Game 3, he still brought it back and kept the lead that whole time in Game 4. But does he still have it in the tank to keep it going? It's possible, but Gluto definitely looked better on that last stock.
I mean, there is no better demonstration of just how fascinating adaptation is in this game than watching these two play, because they'll stick to the same stage, they'll stick to the same characters, but no two games look alike. I mean, even the combos that they're fishing for are different between every single game, and it just goes to show that when two top players play each other this many times and they know they have to take it 100% seriously, things are going to start to look different. And that ledge trap looking real different from Gluto.
That was so good. Keep it. If you get the hits, you won the interaction, and you had a safety net to back you up with that fight. Like, again, like the optimization that these two have done with these characters has been phenomenal over the years, and it's only continuing to happen. He couldn't go for the up smash there though, because he normally would react to that on a read, but because the bike was there like last time, it might have extended and he might have gotten hit for it.
And the thing is, Light also could have had a combo with the tech chase off of that Nair, but the bike extended his hit lag, so he wasn't actually able to get the tech chase onto Gluto, and that's one of the reasons why the Frenchman has got the lead right now. And with a whole lot of rage, Light, yeah, he's just going to DI straight off stage. I don't want to give him any more damage than he's already getting.
Not at all. And we've, I mean, we talked about how it's crazy to think about how Tweak and Leo, one of those two has to go to loser side on the side of losers quarters. One of these two has to go to losers and fight for top 8.
Fight for top 8 in losers. They could get 9th.
And so far, it's looking heavily in Gluto's favor as Light drops deep into his seat. That was a really early dash attack kill, and that is something he could not afford to have happen to him in this Game 5.
I mean, you look at the player cam, right? Light's shoulders have dropped a little bit, and that's almost always a death knell for him, right? Like, he has got to be 100% in it, but with that up smash, maybe that fire welling up inside of him a little bit. He's got one last stock to play with. Even if Gluto has that full waft, you can't hesitate for a second.
Well, just like Death Note, he didn't hold that L. And right now he's set, he's trying to get that W. He can still make it happen, but unfortunately for him, that is not looking too good as he air notches off the stage. That's a free walk, and that is Gluto taking game number 5, and Gluto shutting it down. That second stock coming in so good for him. That early knockout really changing the body language. That's everything that Light needed. But that air dodge down and away, you're forced to burn the jump no matter what. For Gluto, you always go down there, and you always force that trade. Even if you miss, it's still worth it because you're only at 22%. You're most likely not dying in that situation. Now Gluto gets to fight the winner of Spargo's match on the opposing side of that.
I mean, again, like you said, I mean, either one of these two would absolutely deserve, by their merit and by that set played, to get into top 8. But Gluto, I mean, the way that he aggressively played that final game, right, really just shattered Light's spirit. And by the end of that, you know, we saw that SD happen, but, you know, that happened as a result of the way that Gluto played near the end, that Light was just a little bit shaky, and it led to that kind of moment, and that's the kind of player that Gluto is.
Yeah, I felt like in Game 4 on that last stock, that was the big moment for me where I started to go, Gluto actually started to pick it up a ton, because he was able to sneak out Game 3 with that, the big combo that led to the 0 to death from the ledge. That was able to get him the W. Game 4, Light was winning the whole time, but in the last stock, Gluto started to look really good again. He started to wake up, he started to play well, and when you see moments like that, that means he's stepping into Game 5, and he's feeling good. And he looked not only good, but dominant in that Game 5 there against